Hi, and welcome to this episode of Conversation with a Chef. I'm Jo Ritty, and I love sharing with you the conversations I get to have with talented and passionate chefs. It's the backstory, if you will, to the food they're putting up. I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the lands and airwaves where this conversation took place, land which was never ceded, land where communities came together to eat seasonally, locally, and without exhausting resources. I pay my respects to their elders past and present and to any First Nations people listening today. Today I'm talking to Aleksis Kalnins. When I first met Aleksis, I was writing a first look story for Broadsheet about Molli. It was the afternoon of the soft opening and Aleks took me on a super fast tour of the kitchen, restaurant and up to the rooftop to admire the raised garden beds. He talked about the food he liked to cook and his vision for the restaurant, and I knew I had to come back and hear more once Molli was up and running. In between times, I went into Molli with friends and I loved every single dish we ordered for lots of reasons: flavour, texture and aesthetic. The dining room has a great vibe and I will always love warm brick with good art and beautiful furniture. But it's the food that counts here, and you are absolutely in good hands with Aleks. Aleks is a spreadsheet guy. He has lots of ideas and he puts them together along with the orchestration of them in spreadsheets, anticipating the flow and the way dishes will work with other dishes, and how the whole operation will sing. Because for Aleks, it's about diner experience. One of his hobbies is eating out, so he's well aware of what it means to be on the other side. And the tingle he gets from service is all about bringing it all together for the ultimate diner experience. I love that.
You hungry?
No, I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Absolutely. I feel like that came from the special stash.
Yeah, we couldn't earn. At about 3 o'clock on the weekend, the little Molly brings us a big urn of filter coffee.
That's so nice.
Keep us going.
I could watch that all day. So watching someone do really good technique and it's so
amazing,
good.
isn't it?
Yeah. I was just talking to Ryan Spurrell yesterday at the Clarendon Hotel in South Melbourne.
Yeah.
And he was
He's
saying,
still chefing.
yeah. And he said that he just loved watching cooking shows, and like when he got home from school, and that it was probably the technique that drew him in.
Yeah.
And I think I hadn't really thought about that before, but I love watching people like Andy Herndon, like his videos of all the little things he does, the mise en place, and then I love that. It's so good that you've got people filleting and actually breaking down things.
Yeah, you kind of, I feel like these guys are all really good, you know, I've worked with them for years, and to have sort of attract chefs like that, you have to offer them this sort of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they want to learn, basically.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get just pre-filleted fish in.
Exactly.
Yeah. How's it going?
Good. It's good. It's a crazy day. So today we run the kitchen with me and sous chef for lunch. Like he'll do so on Friday he'll do the hotline and I'll do the pass and larder, and then we switch over on Saturday and I'll do the hotline.
Oh.
Just so these guys, because we're so busy tonight, these guys can get a bit ahead.
Yeah. I feel like I've always come in and talked to you on days when you're really super busy. Sorry.
I'm always busy.
You're always busy. So how's the kitchen working out? Because I know when I spoke to you right on opening, it was you designed the kitchen. Is it everything you hoped for and more?
Yeah, it's really well. Like I was thinking about it even last night, I thought of things I can change, and I think there'll always be stuff. Because I designed it, I always think like, oh, what could I change to make better? But actually it's incredible. Like when we put the plans to the people that we were buying the equipment of, there were some people saying like, are you sure you have enough firepower and all that sort of stuff because of how compact it is? But actually it's amazing. You know, we could do, come summer, we'll be doing like 200 covers and it'll be absolutely fine.
It's interesting too, I think, I just have been listening to Annie Smithers because I'm going to talk to her in a couple of weeks, and she was talking about how kitchens are living, breathing entities and they take on their own life, or that restaurants do, and I guess the kitchen behind that. You must have to work in a lot of kitchens to know what you want.
Yeah, for sure.
And what you don't want.
Yeah, like this is kind of an amalgamation of all my favourite kitchens across the world, you know?
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's kind of good. It gets sweaty that day.
Yeah, I bet. It's hard, isn't it? Because I mean, at least you've kind of got some kind of glimpse. But if you're out the back all the time, you're here. You know, a lot of kitchens you're
In the basement.
or away from the sunlight all day.
Like where I cut my teeth in London, I worked in basements for like 4 years, and I'd go in the morning and then come out like 12 hours later. Some days I wouldn't see the sun. You know? It's brutal.
Yeah, you feel a bit jet lagged all the time. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Whereas this is nice because you have like a little bit of privacy, but then it's still open. And like tonight, I'm on the outside, so I feel like I'm in the restaurant, and it means that like I really pick up on the vibe, and if, you know, I can tell if something's not going right, or you know, I'm like, oh, what's going on here? Maybe we need to slow down or speed up or something.
Yeah, and that would be important too, to do that, and that's what Ryan was talking about as well. Is hospitality. It's about you're there for the people, aren't you? You're not there for yourself. So
we actually had this big like management from the whole group. We did it up here last year, and it was all about like warm hospitality, like what actually that means. And it's not just giving someone good service. Like it's about being like welcoming, and also in the kitchen like making some food that's really approachable but delicious. And it's kind of like everything.
Yeah,
we're trying to build up, you know.
Absolutely. So where did it all start for you? Did you grow up in Amsterdam?
No, I grew up in Carlton here.
Oh, you grew up in Carlton?
Yeah.
But you were in Amsterdam at some stage,
I moved to England when I was 18.
Okay.
And kind of found cooking over there just by chance. And then my chef at the time, I was really into it, and I had no idea that like apprenticeships.
What took you to the UK then?
I was pretty naughty, so my mum sort of sent me.
Oh, okay.
She's like, you need to go. She had like really
to
romantic.
the other side of the world.
She had like really romantic views of London in the 70s.
Okay.
She's like, it's a great place, and I had brothers over there as well. So she's like, just go live with your brothers. Yeah. Get away from here, you idiot.
Okay.
Maybe not that harsh, but you know. And then I was over there working like as a bar back, and then I found my way into a kitchen. And then I got really into it, and then so I got into Westminster College over there, just doing that 1 day a week for a couple of years while I was still working, just because I wanted to learn more. And then like 4 or 5 years later, when I came back here from London, I went to a recruitment agency, and they were like, oh, you know, have you done your apprenticeship? And I was like, what, like apprenticeship? I was just so oblivious to it.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, like you need a qualification. I was like, oh yeah. I went to Westminster College in London, and they're like, oh wow. So I was super lucky that I had that, and it wasn't like I was trying to prove something, I just wanted to learn stuff.
Yeah.
And then through that avenue, then I started working at Phoenix, and I stayed here for a few more years, and then I went back over to Amsterdam and worked in some great restaurants.
Because what's your family? It sounds like your name is...
So my father's side was all Latvian.
Oh, Latvian.
That's where I got the...
Yeah, wow, okay.
She had a table come in the other day. It was, one lady came in, I think it was a week after it opened, and I bring the food out to her, to the table, and she's like, is this Latvian influence? And I was like, no, like not really. I was just chatting with her, and I was like, how do you know that I'm Latvian? She's like, you have like the most Latvian name ever.
Oh.
Like came and ate some of your food at Hazel.
Yeah.
And then they came back last Sunday, with a whole, on the table 7 over there, there was 6 of them, all that went to Latvian school here in Melbourne, when they were kids, and they're all like, you know, probably in their 50s or plus now. And they're like, yeah, we just came, you know, we're all kind of bringing around the Latvian vibes.
Yeah, wow.
That was pretty fun.
That's so good. Okay, so you strike me as a really curious person. So when you're saying that you were over there and you just wanted to learn more, that feels like that's right.
Yeah.
So you were working in a bar, but you looked into the kitchen and thought
No, so I was working, it was a nightclub in Shoreditch. And it was a nightclub on the weekends, and then...
So you definitely got out of trouble and... on the other side of the world.
Yeah, like it was called the Bathhouse, and so it was in an old Turkish bathhouse just next to Liverpool Street Station in Shoreditch. And so Friday night and Saturday was a nightclub, a really cool hip nightclub underground. And then Monday to Friday it was like a restaurant at night time. And so I got a job there bar backing on the weekends. And And then like I just needed money, so I spoke to the owners. They're like friends of my brother, a friend of my brother's. And I was like, can I do anything? You know, like cleaning. I just need money. Like I'm this kid in London spending all my money on stuff. And then so I was helping out cleaning one day and during the day, and then like so the kitchen guys were all there, and then like I'd help them do dishes, I'd help them do whatever. And then I just sort of like, because they knew I needed work, so I just sort of got to do a few jobs in there. And then it came to like I would bar back, because on the Friday night there'd be a bit of a crossover, and then I'd also help them. And then finally one day one of the chefs had a fight with the head chef and cracked the shits and stormed out, and they're like, Aleks, come help us.
Yeah.
And that's sort of how I got my in, and then I just transitioned to like working more there, and then finally it was like, all right, now I'm full-time in the kitchen. And I used to like do a shift, like it would be like 3 of us in the kitchen plating up, doing everything, and then the room where all the dishes were next door, so I'd help clean down that kitchen and then walk in and there'd just be these bunches of dishes, and I'd just start like my dishes shift and like clear all the dishes. It's actually, it sounds kind of horrible, but I have really fond memories now. Like now when I go to do the dishes, I'm like, it kind of takes me back.
Nice,
you know?
nice, yeah.
Yeah.
And what is it about cooking that drew you in? Or chef life that drew you in? Because it's more than cooking.
Yeah, I don't know, there's so many things. Like nowadays, one of my favourite things is like all the problems and solving.
Yeah.
You know, this discovery that you're always going through. Like no one's ever going to perfect anything, because you can always change it or make it better, or maybe, you know, your flavour will develop. And then, yeah, I think maybe when I was younger, it's a lot about the adrenaline and the rush, you know? Like even now, like when we have a massive night and like all these checks are coming through and I'm on the other side of the pass, like almost like orchestrating it or conducting it, I get tingles through my whole body. So I'm like, oh my God. And then I just have this high, you know, like, it's almost like a drug, really.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably why so many chefs have like, you know, alcohol and drug abuse, because the similarities and that endorphin rush and everything. Yeah, just so many things, like the scientific aspect of it as well. Like I've always been kind of like, I wouldn't say nerdy, because maybe my lifestyle hasn't been like that, but I always love, you know, science and books and all that sort of stuff. And it's just it's all just the science, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because there's so much going on for you, and I feel like the flavours here at Molli are so incredible. Well, flavours and textures and just a combination of everything. How are you keeping track of that? Are you a spreadsheet person?
Yeah.
Are you not notebooks?
I love spreadsheets.
Spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I love spreadsheets.
Yeah.
I'll sometimes jot like ideas in my phone on notes.
Yeah.
But then everything goes on a spreadsheet. Like when I'm coming up with a new dish, there's a few ways I'll do it, but say when we're opening the kitchen and I had to work about the functionality of the kitchen, I'll come up with how many prep jobs there should be in one dish, and then obviously I'll have like the main component of flavour, but then I can work out how many levels we have to go. Is this going to be achievable? So the other thing I think a lot of chefs do and they forget is like we can all make amazing food, but the real tricky thing is about, can you recreate it over and over again for hundreds of people? Maybe the restaurant fills up in 30 minutes and you have like 15 tables come in at once.
Yeah.
Is the kitchen going to be able to do it? Because like you can sort of tell when the food comes out and it's just not right. It's not how the chef wanted it to be. You know?
What happens in that situation?
When the
food comes out and it's not.
Well, then it's just a bit disappointing. You know?
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, not for me at the past. Like I try my hardest to let that happen. But say I'm eating in a restaurant and I'm like this.
Oh.
And then maybe I'll speak to the chefs afterwards and I'll be like, oh, what was that? And they're like, oh, fuck, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Because that was something we talked about yesterday, as well as the fact that I was asking what's the difference between a good chef and a great chef, or even, as you say, like someone cooking something maybe at home and they can do it really beautifully, but doing it again and again and again every night and being consistent. That's really interesting. But we were talking about the fact that a great chef is only as good as his team or her team, and But that's also the job, isn't it? You've got to create that
training
team and training them,
finding the right people,
not dropping people, pushing people under the bus because you can't then go, oh, you haven't done it right. That's because it's on you.
Like this is kind of how I was raised in the kitchens. It's like you're led by fear, and if someone did something wrong, then absolutely. Like I could just get yelled at, kind of horrible. Whereas now it's like I try to lead everyone, like bring them along. If they do something wrong, I'm like, well, I haven't shown you.
Yeah.
Like really, I need to. And even if I've shown you once, then the way that I'm teaching you isn't coming through. So it's my responsibility as a leader. Like I've hired you, I really like you. Like the main thing that I normally hire off is like people respectful, like some sort of intelligence, and are they nice? Do I have a nice feeling about them? Yeah. So then it's like they're really like my kids or my family. So if I've shown you how to do something and you don't do it the same way, then it's on me.
Yeah.
It's not your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to go back to those flavour ideas that you're putting into your spreadsheet, or the ideas you're having and putting into your notes, what comes first? So when these ideas pop into your head, are you thinking of the presentation of the dish, or are you thinking of the flavour?
It really depends.
Yeah.
Always flavour has to be amazing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people get carried away with presentation. Like you can go loads of different ways. Like last night I was thinking about I want to do a special for Father's Day. And then I was thinking about, what are fathers really like traditionally? And also things nowadays have to kind of be Instagrammable. It's like a marketing tool,
Yeah.
And then it just came to me. I was like, what if I made like a potato gratin on a plate? Which sounds weird. So then this morning I came in because it was just fresh last night. So it's the first thing I have to do when I come in.
Yeah.
And then so I started to make this like layered gratin on the plate and then cook it under the salamander. So that's purely for the aesthetics. Like I know it's going to taste delicious because it's like cheese and potatoes and all this delicious stuff. But the aesthetic of having this thing that it almost looks like it's built into the plate now, and then we can put a ginormous steak on top.
Oh wow!
So then we can have and then I'm picturing the photo from up top where it looks, the plate is molded into the potato, and then you just have this big, beautiful like Scotch fillet or something on top. And so that was really aesthetic.
Yeah.
But then other times it'll be purely about flavour. I'm developing a new fish dish where I want to make like a shio-koji seaweed sauce. And all I'm thinking about now is the sauce.
Yeah.
Because that will just basically be the whole dish.
Yeah.
I want to have something where you eat it, one spoon, it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. I reckon it's sauces that do that, aren't they? Those sauces that are just so complex, but in not an overwhelming way. That they're just really savoury and balanced and delicious. Yeah, I love that.
That's what I love, and that because I'm really into also food at the moment. That's like just one or like 2 or 3 tones max on the plate, but then it's sort of like surprising when you eat it, like you're just like, oh yeah, that looks simple, and then you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what on earth is that?
Can you still be surprised by flavour of food dishes? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your own or other people?
Yeah. Sometimes I kind of know what I'm coming up with.
Yeah.
But yeah, like for instance, we're doing this Sunday set menu at the moment, where I'm using it to kind of play around with new dishes.
That's fun, yeah.
And so I came up with like pork belly that we cook in the Josper, and like cabbage that we've steamed and then coat in like lemonade fruit, pickle and stuff. Put that on the bottom of the plate and lots of herbs, and then the pork belly over, and then like a lemon beurre blanc around, and I ate it, and I was like worried that it would be too fatty, that's why I put all the lemon throughout it, and I ate it and I was like, fuck, this is so delicious, and it's so unassuming, the same sort of thing. So I'll probably put that on the menu soon.
Nice. Yeah. That's good.
I'm really excited because it's almost a change of season, so this is, and spring's my favourite time to cook.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, sometimes I feel like I might say that about every season when it's coming around.
It's about to come.
Because you get like
waiting
excited.
For it. And at the moment, seeing the blossom and the wattle and everything, you kind of like...
Spring's coming like a month early.
Yeah,
I went over to Natura on just Tuesday being, speaking to Kim, and he's like... I was like, so what's coming up? And he's like, dude, it's going to be a really early season. Like, we've almost got asparagus.
I wonder if that's good though. Because I remember hearing Digger on Triple R talking about how some of the things do need to have a certain length of time dormant in the ground, before they...
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, nice. Everyone likes
It's
asparagus in
exciting
season.
anyway,
It's exciting. And how are your plant veggie beds going upstairs?
Yeah, they're going alright. Winter's hard up there.
Yeah.
And it's so dry as well, like from the wind. The hard thing is that you feel like it's getting enough water, but then the wind is drying out the topsoil. So, just a lot of work. It's still fun. It's amazing though. Who's got their own garden?
I was going to say, it's a good reminder, isn't it? Because I think, again, going back to Annie Smithers, she uses a lot of the vegetables that she grows out at Babington Park in Trentham, and she was saying that for her, the El Nino or La Nina, whichever seasonal,
La Nina,
whatever we've had, has been worse to deal with than lockdown, because it's been 3 years of this weather that has made it very hard and very challenging to grow vegetables to fruition.
Yeah.
And I think when you're growing your own vegetables and facing those hardships, then you must be treating them differently when you cook them, right?
Yeah, because you're like, oh, this, it might not just be some time. It's like, this is our time.
This is our
special,
time. I know. That's it. And you want to do something really special with it. Yeah, right. And just thinking too about the different kitchens that you've worked in, was the kitchen really different in Amsterdam to say London or here?
There were those similarities. Like, for instance, like I worked at Dinner by Heston in Melbourne, where lots of the food was focused around the Josper, and then in Amsterdam, like we also had a Josper, and I worked in a place in Belgium that also had one, and then in Europe, definitely induction was more prominent, like electric.
Yeah.
It's only really starting to kick off here in the past few years. But then again, like at Dinner by Heston here, whenever that was, like 6 years ago, like that was all induction, just the sort of level of the kitchen. Like this is a lot more like a European kitchen, the way it's set up. It's just kind of like a mini one. I've taken the main things from the place in Amsterdam and Dinner by Heston and sort of amalgamated them in here,
Okay.
And then a little bit of like Matilda and Hazel, just of things that like I didn't. It's almost like some things that I didn't really like the size and how long we have to go, how long it takes to get from the parts to the pastry section. I'm like, this is too many steps, Which is, it's funny because everything has its good and its bad. Like now, because it's so condensed, like when we're working, like we're sweating. But then it's actually like, but then at the end of the night, we clean down, it takes us like 15 minutes because we're like, wow, everything's so easy and quick.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I like to get a bit of a sweat on there.
Oh, right, yeah, then you're working.
Yeah, but you get the adrenaline, you're like,
Yeah.
It's almost like a sport,
And so that's something that you thrive on rather than in that heat of the moment when you've got all the checks coming in or the orders coming in and everyone's there and the heat's all on. Is that enjoyable for you?
Yeah,
or is there a level
I love
of...
that.
Yeah. You're not just waiting to get to the end. No.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully not. That's right.
Yeah.
Hopefully you are enjoying it.
That's when I get the tingles and I'm like, oh my God. I remember years ago at Matilda, it was the first New Year's that I ran there, and we ran like it was a 5-course in the first sitting and then like a 7 or 8-course or something menu in the second sitting, and it was so busy. As probably the most times I've ever called service please, because for every course, every dish I was calling it, so my voice was gone by the end. And I had to, like, the checks just kept coming in, and I had to get another pass quickly, like on the fly. And at one point I was like, oh God, like, keep together. And then got towards the end of the night, and like all the, like Scott and Kim and all these big guys were there, and they're coming up and congratulating me, and I was like, that was one of the best feelings I've ever had, where I just steered the ship and I kept it together, even when it was chaos. There was tables everywhere.
And you have to be focused on the dish, but then the overall what's happening and your team and everything. It's full on.
Yeah, sometimes I try to say to people when you're doing this, it's like almost like simplify, and so I'll have all these like systems and structures where, say for instance, like a check, like I have different highlighters for different things and everything has to be in the right place. So then if I do that one thing, I just focus on that, finish that, and then move on to the next thing, you know, like check around.
Yeah.
And it's almost like when there's too much noise. It used to happen to me when I was a young chef. Like I'd be trying to do all this stuff, and I'd be thinking about everything at once, and then it would just all go a bit foggy.
Yeah.
Whereas now I'm just like, all right, is that right? Like make a decision, move on. Decision, move on.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm so in awe, obviously, of chefs. He's got a whole podcast dedicated to them, but I'm in awe. Yeah, it's incredible. And you're on your feet all the time as well.
Yeah, that's the one thing though. It's the only downfall. Sometimes I'm boring, my legs hurting.
Yeah. What do you eat on your days off?
We go out. Me and my partner over there later. We just eat out a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And then you...
It's weird though, like, I was having a chat with Leon the other week, and he's like, you know, like, what are your hobbies? What are you doing to, like, refill your cup, you know? So have fun and stuff. And I was like, I get a lot of enjoyment out of work. And he's like, yeah, but outside of work, your work can't be your hobby. And I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, well... I guess I go out and I eat at restaurants. He's like, dude, you need to. He's like, you need to get something else. So I was like, all right, yeah. So I got my bike fixed and I'm trying to.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's something. Yeah.
Just something not. Because then I was speaking to Layla about it. And I was like, yeah, and she's like, yeah, it is all we do, really. I was like, yeah, all right, I need something else. I'm happy though, but.
Wow, yeah.
So I take the advice from everyone.
So, with all the experience you've had and the different kitchens you've worked in, what would your advice be to young chefs starting out?
Decide whether or not you really want to do it, and then if you do, don't give up.
Yeah.
And always try and learn more. Like one of the things that really took me to another level is doing homework. As crazy as it sounds, it didn't really feel like homework, but I would go home and read about interesting things, and you know, and having that sort of extra knowledge. It's just sort of over time, you know, it's just like training or anything. Treat it like a sport, you know, the people who train the most, after 10 years of doing it, you're just so far ahead.
Yeah.
You just have such a broader knowledge of things, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't give up. I reckon that's the biggest thing, you know. Yeah. But you really have to love it. It's a hard thing. I've seen so many chefs come through and they realise after a few years, they're like, I don't really know if this is for me. And it's like, you just need to make that decision and move on and find something else that you do love.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot.
Thank you. So
all right,
great.
my pleasure.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Conversation with a Chef with Aleksis Kalnins at Molli. You can check out the lovely food and the lovely team on Instagram at molli.abbotsford. That's molli.abbotsford. If you'd like to hear more stories from other chefs, I'm on Instagram at Conversation with a Chef, and you can tell that I've put a new story up because I'll post it there. You can also read the chat and become a subscriber at www.conversationwithachef.com. You can follow me on Apple and Spotify podcasts. Could even leave a review. 5 stars, not bad. Love it, thank you. And I would really like it if you told a friend about the chats, because that's still the best way to get the stories out there. Once again, thanks so much for listening. Have a great day and bon appetit.